opportunity to thank the Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship. I think this organization has done so much worldwide. I was a little boy when I started hearing about this organization, and I grew up having a lot of senior friends, and I know how much they have impacted lives, mostly the lives of men who are in business. And I think some few months ago, I started trying to connect with the Ireland branch or the Ireland chapter of this Full Gospel. I think I spoke with one of your members on the mainland, and he directed me to some people on the island. But I haven't had time to attend any of the meetings because I think you meet, I think they meet once in a month or so, and it has always clashed. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we'll just dive deep into our discussion today. Please, can somebody who is sharing the slide for me, if I can have the first page of the slide so that we can.
It's going up in a minute.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think this discussion is very important at this particular point in time. Why is it very important? It's because if you look at what is going on in the economy today, you will know that anybody who is not really concerned about Nigeria is not being sincere. Everybody is concerned. Where people call me every day, where do we go from here? What is happening in this country? Do I change all my monies into dollars, or do I leave my money as naira? Some people are saying that in the next few weeks, next few months, things will improve. So where do we go from here? What's actually happening? So if I have all the time, I would comment on one or two things about what is going on, and what you can do actually is part of the reasons why we're here. But like I said, we'll just go into today's discussion, and we'll see where it takes us to. But I strongly believe that we will leave here well impacted. But like I normally tell most participants, each time I speak, or each time I'm given the opportunity to come and talk about financial planning, retirement planning, economy, investment, the only solution to most of the challenges we face personally is action. Today, you are going to learn a lot of things. You hear some things maybe you've never heard before, or you hear something you've heard before. But the action is the most important thing. When we are done today, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to let it, are you just going to stay and do nothing about it? Or you want to go ahead and do something spectacular that will change your own life? Because if you stay here for the next 30 minutes or 20 minutes and listen to everything we are saying, and you're not ready to take a positive action into concerning what you've heard, you're like that person in the Bible said that he behold himself in the mirror and he left and he could not remember what he looked like. So, but I believe that we are doers and not just listeners or hearers. So today we're going to talk about, can I get the first slide, please? Just the beginning. I'd like to start from there.
Yeah, that's the quote from Kiyosaki. Or should I move to the next slide?
No, the first slide. The first slide on the, no, the first slide on the top.
Yeah, I'm there.
The topic slide. Okay, thank you. We're talking about personal financial planning and investing for the future. Personal financial planning and investing for the future. So today we'll be dimensioning different aspects of financial planning. Why is it important for us to have a financial plan? Some people say, I never chop today, they tell me about tomorrow. The future is now, actually. So if you are not able to plan now, you cannot plan for the future. So people want to talk about the future. People think that the future is 3 years from now, 10 years from now. No, the future is now. So that's exactly what I want to bring to our notice before we jump straight into this discussion this evening. Next slide, please. So let's look at this quote. Very beautiful quote. I like to use it in all my slides. He said, it's not how much money you make, but how much money you keep. How hard it works for you and how many generations you keep it for. Why is this very important? I always cite this instance most of the times. about people who have worked in big oil companies, Shell, Chevron, ExxonMobil. Some of them will retire. They're not able to own a home for themselves. But you see a primary school teacher who was just earning small money, peanuts. That teacher has been able to train 8 graduates, built a retirement home for himself, and living a good life. So it's not just how much you earn, but how much can this money work for you? And what are you doing with the money you are earning? Some people are earning so much. That's why you see basketball players, Hollywood actors and actresses, footballers, like the man they called Emmanuel Eboe, so one of these big players, that after earning all the big monies he earned, he ended up under the bridge, you know. So because planning is very important. They can give you $1 million today, but in 5 years' time, you could just be retiring to your village with nothing. So we need to open our eyes to some of these things, some of these basic principles that they seem to be basic, but they're highly sophisticated. Some of them are in the Bible. You know, I'm happy I'm talking to Christians. Some of them are in the Bible. You get to see how important financial planning is and what you can do with your money. It's not how much you were given or how much you've been given, but what you are doing with what you've been given. Next slide, please. We are going to try to a bit. So what is financial planning? Financial planning determines how much money you need to earn, how much money you need to save and spend, and how much you need to make, invest and spend. You can manage your finances and achieve your life goals by planning your finances. You know, we say that anybody who fails to plan has already planned to fail. So when we talk about financial planning, we are looking at how much are you earning? How much do you want to earn? How much are you saving? How much do you want to save? And like I said, as we dive in deeper, we'll get to see some basic formulas, basic principles that we can use to get this done. Next slide, please. So why financial planning? Why do I need to plan? Why do I need to plan? All my plans are in my head. I know exactly how much I'm going to spend on food. That's no plan. You are just guessing. So financial planning is very, very important, mostly in a volatile economy like ours in Nigeria, or even across the world, depending on where you are participating from. But let me talk about Nigeria first, because in Nigeria, you would have planned today. For instance, somebody was telling me that he planned going to Canada, so he had put in some money as a proof of fund as far back as March this year. And today, the exchange rate has jumped up. And if he doesn't do something about it, when the time comes, they may not be able to give him visa because his proof of fund has lost a lot of value, close to 20 to 30% in value within a short space of time. So if you are not the type of person that plans, you are going to be stranded, mostly in a place like Nigeria. If you don't have a very solid plan, you are going to be stranded. I'm not saying you are going to fail. You may be stranded. So that's the very, very reason why financial planning is key, mostly for those of us who are still living in Nigeria. Whether you live in Nigeria or you live in America, planning is key. So let's go to the next slide so that we can dive deeper. These are some of the reasons why you need to plan today. One is this security. Oh, they're shooting here, they're killing people here, they're kidnapping people, different things, insecurity. You need to plan. If you don't plan, insecurity alone can throw you off balance. Inflation, today we are over 22% inflation. I don't even know how people are surviving in Nigeria because that inflation is killing. You go to buy garri in the morning, you come back in the evening, they say the price has changed. So if you are not a good planner, you'll be frustrated. Currency devaluation, we know where we started from this year. Today, dollar is over 800, pounds over 1,000. So it means that the importance of planning can never be overemphasized. because these are variables, economic variables that can destroy your business, mostly for businessmen. If there's anybody right now that needs a concrete plan, it's businessmen. Then political crisis. Oh, we have issues of political crisis, policy change, different things that you wake up, you go to bed today, you wake up the next day, there's a different news entirely. There's a different speculations, different speculations from different quarters, causing different ripples in the market. So these are some of the reasons. Rising debt profile. Oh, Nigeria is owing so much. In fact, this afternoon, I was just reading that a place like Ghana, early this year, they were owing about 130-something billion cedis. But in less than 6 months, they've moved from 130-something billion or so to 530-something billion. That's more than 400%. So debt profile, whether you like it or not, you say, it's the government that is owing, not me. As far as you're in Nigeria, when Nigeria is owing money, is affecting you. Even businesses are owing too. Businesses don't have any option than to go borrowing. Next slide, please. So we are looking at the reasons why you need to plan. Then let us look at you yourself. The factors that necessitate planning for you. Why do you need to plan? One is retirement. No man works forever. One day you are going to retire. So if you don't start planning your retirement now, life will plan your retirement. And oftentimes when life plans your retirement, it plans it and takes you to the village, to the place you never expected to be. Some people, when they retire, they cannot attend any events again because they expect that they will see their old friends and they will be so ashamed. They will be so shy to show up because they've not planned. While they were working, they were driving Mercedes-Benz, they were driving Prado Jeep. Now they have retired. They've taken the government, or can I say the company has taken the cars from them. They've sent them out of the company's property or guest house. They are now empty because they failed to plan. Another one is serious illness. I learned, somebody told me about a top executive in Nigeria that, had a little injury and was hospitalized in one of the big hospitals in Lagos. They thought it was minor, but guess what happened? In less than 2 months, that sickness had got 35 million naira. 35 million naira. He almost died. 35 million naira. And they said if they had flown him abroad, he wouldn't have spent anything less than 60 million naira. So a serious illness can wipe away all the values you've created. So you need to plan. Others, your aged parents. Your parents are still old, whether you like it or not. One day they will go. You have to bury them. You have to spend money. You have to take care of them. Even when they're still alive, you are still taking care of them. Your children are getting married, you spend money. Divorce. That's one thing that people never plan for. But the truth is that it does happen. And when it happens, where do you go from there? Maybe your wife used to carry you. But all of a sudden, your wife said, no, I'm going for divorce. I'm tired. What do you do? If your wife decides to divorce you tomorrow, how are you going to live? So you need a plan. If you want to start a business, you might decide to start another business. You have the business before, but you have decided to start another one. You need a plan. That's why these are the reasons why you need a plan. You can just wake up one day, you're having another kid, unexpected. You need a plan. You are paying for your children's school fees. So most parents now, they send their children to Canada and the US and the UK to study. If you don't have a plan, you may not be able to achieve it. The Bible said that no man goes to war without first of all sitting down to count the cost, or no man start building a house, a mansion, without first of all sitting down to count the cost. Else he will build halfway and get stranded or frustrated, and his enemies will start laughing at him. So these are the reasons you want to buy a home, or you suddenly lose your job, or you are getting married, or your several reasons. These are the reasons that make you, want to plan. Volatile economy. These are reasons why you need to plan. Next slide, please. So this is a very significant graph. I love to use this graph to demonstrate to people why they need to plan. This is the graph of a man who started very well. He got a job, maybe in a bank, or started a business. The business started growing, and everything was just moving fine. But he got a certain level, he stopped growing and he started going down. And what happened to him was that he never planned. This is the journey of a man who never had a plan. The man who never made any effort to plan. So he will go up to come down. Next slide, please. Let me show you another graph. Excuse me. So this is the graph of the man who has decided to plan his life. He started going up. Things might be bad. You know, the economy might be bad. They might move pump price from 178 to 400 to 600. He will still find balance. There will still be balance for this man, no matter what, because he has a plan. Next slide, please. So I don't know the person you want to imitate. And there's a slide I like to show Nigerians and everybody that cares. And there's a very important slide. That's this slide I'm showing now. On retirement, the amount of money you need to retire comfortably in Nigeria today, you need nothing less than you need over $300,000 for you to be able to retire comfortably in Nigeria. That you can take care of yourself, but take care of your health, you know, feed very well, take care of your home, and do everything that you need. At least $376,000, at least minimum. So imagine that you don't have such, I mean dollars, I don't mean naira. If you don't have such money, when you retire, you're actually going to be at risk. Unless you want to relocate to countries like Colombia, countries like Afghanistan, countries that you need minimum of $158,000, $110,000. So one of the reasons why men must plan is that retirement is coming. When the children would have left you and they've gone their own way. Some people say you don't depend on your children don't train your children for retirement plan. That's a different discussion or argument. But as a man, as a businessman, you must have a retirement plan. If you retire, can you take care of yourself? Can you pay your bills? Can you take care of your wife? Can you take care of your home? You say you have built a house. That one is settled. I built a house. Don't you know that that house you live will also require maintenance? If you don't maintain that house over a period of time, that house will become something else. You can't live in it again. So in retirement, you need a plan. Because one day you are going to retire. For you to retire effectively and retire rich, you need a plan. Next slide, please. So I want to introduce you to some of the things you need to know this evening that will help you craft a solid plan for yourself and remain financially free, so that when the time comes, when maybe something happens, you don't need to be calling everybody. Some people, once they want to do a project or something urgent comes, they must call somebody. Please, I need to borrow 500,000. I need to borrow 100,000. It's not bad, but you need to have a solid plan that will help you solve issues like that, emergency issues. Number one is you must plan to retire early and retire rich. Some people say, I don't want to retire. I want to work till 100. But they don't understand that retirement has changed. The concept of retirement has changed. In this present generation, what is retirement? Before, when our parents, when they are in the 90s, in the 80s, when our parents retire, they retire to the village and start living a slow life. But that's not what retirement is right now. Retirement, the definition of retirement as it stands today is that moment you are free to do what you like. You are no longer compelled to wake up by 4 o'clock and begin to enter Lagos traffic because you have to get into that office on time. Because you have to just see that client at that time. Retirement is that moment where you know that you have enough money that can carry you for many years, even though you decide not to hustle, or not, you decide to just live the kind of life you want to live. And these days, you see people retiring at the age of 38, 35, 30, 40, because they have accumulated enough wealth that's able to carry them to do exactly what they want to do. I used to cite the story of Tony Elumelu when he was a bank MD. They were interviewing him. He said, when he left UBA as the CEO of UBA, he had that opportunity to begin to do the things that make him happy. He will go to Harvard and present a talk. He will go to France and talk about things, come back to Tony Elumelu Foundation, and is able to, empower people. That is the bliss of retirement. That is actually the modern day definition of retirement. Retirement is not about leaving your job because you're tired. No, it's the freedom you receive because you have left the active hustle. You are now living a good life, a financially free. You're not financially free. You're not enjoying financial freedom because you have been able to plan your life very well. And one of the things, like I said, is one of the principles I want to discuss is the FIRE rule. So what is FIRE rule talking about? Is a movement. The there's what we call the FIRE movement. It's called financial independence. The full meaning of FIRE is financial independence, retire early. So a group of persons started that movement. You can join there. Anybody can join that movement. Financial independence, retiring early. So what does that mean? They are saying, this movement is saying that you will try to live a frugal life, because we discovered that one of the big reasons why a lot of people struggle all their life is that they don't know what they call delayed gratification. They don't know what they call frugality. For every 1 naira that comes into their hand, they already want to spend it. If they don't spend it, they can't have peace. You give them 5 million naira today, they start thinking of where to go and paint the town red. Which drink are we buying? Which party do we want to organize? So he said, and this movement is saying that if people can practice some level of frugality by practicing self-control concerning the way they spend their money, he said they will be able to achieve early retirement and they'll be able to achieve financial freedom. So you are in a business and every month you make 30 million naira profit. What tells you that there will not be a policy that will truncate that business or that will destroy your value? So all you need to do is to plan. What if something happens that government decides to change policy and you are out of business? How are you going to survive? So you must maintain extreme frugality for a period of time so that you'll be able to achieve financial independence and at the same time retire early. That's the goal. You must cut down costs. Cut cost. If you're a business person, cutting cost is key. I believe in making money as against cutting costs. But if you must achieve this financial independence and retiring early, you must cut costs. That car that you want to buy, is it necessary? I was telling some group of persons last week, I said, men must continue to reason, men must sit down and reimagine real estate investment. You know, when some people call me and say, come and look at this house and see if it's a beautiful house, I want to buy it, or come and look at it and see if it's something you can buy. I ask them, it's not how beautiful a house is. It's not how beautiful that house is. That house is in Ikoyo, very beautiful. No, you don't buy a house because it's beautiful. Those were the days where people invested like that, or just want to buy a house so that people will know that you're a house owner in Lagos. No, that's emotional investment, and it ends with a lot of tears, premium tears. You invest in real estate. Anything real estate must be done. Anything real estate investment must be done with an investment mindset. So if you are calling me to come and buy a house in Lekki, the first thing I'm asking myself, if I buy this house today for 50 million naira, 100 million naira, what will be the value of this house in the next 3 years? Because I'm not planning to live in that house forever. Everything real estate must be approached from the investment perspective. You don't just buy a house or buy a landed property because they say in the next 10 minutes, 5 years, it will appreciate. No, you must sit down and plan it and calculate it and crunch the numbers. Every investment, everything you are buying, unless you just want to invest in pleasure, you know, but if you must buy anything, you must have a business mindset towards it. An investment perspective must come in first, an investment perception. So, and there's another thing I like to talk about here, which we call the rule of 25. That is what we call fire number. You know, at times we think we have money because you have 150 million naira in the bank. That does not mean you have money. So we must begin to appraise ourselves very well as businessmen, as business people, as men, as family owners. We must reappraise ourselves. I normally tell people, some men, once they make a deal of 10 million naira, they think they've arrived. No. For you to be able to know if you'll be able to retire, there's what we call fire number. And what is that fire number all about? The fire number is saying that you must put your total expense in a month, or the total expense, let's say every month, your total expense for you to be able to run your house, run your home, maintain your car, maintain your house and everything. Let's say every month you need 1 million naira. How do you calculate your fire number? Your fire number, to show if you're really financially free or financially independent, says multiply 1 million naira by 12 months in a year. Multiply 12 million naira by 1 million naira by 12. That is about 12 million naira, right? Times it by 25. What number are we getting? 12 million times 25 is what? Can we get a number, please? 12 million times 25. I like to be very practical when I'm teaching. So that's about 300 million naira. So unless you have 300 million naira in your account, if your expense every month is 1 million, if you will need 300 million naira in your account to be, before we can say that you are a big man in Nigeria or you are financially free. So if your expense every month is 1 million and you don't have up to 300 million naira in investment cash, you are not financially free. You can't retire. So you cannot begin to reappraise yourself. You cannot begin to reappraise yourself to see if what you think of yourself is correct or not, if you're rich or not. Next slide, please. So for you to be able to achieve this financial freedom, to be able to achieve this solid financial planning, there's a rule we call 50-30-20 rule. What is this saying? The 50-30 rule, the 50-30-20 rule says, is a rule of budgeting. It's saying that every month, as you collect your salary, or as you do your account as a businessman to know if you made profit or not, as you collect your profit, that 50% of all your income, all your earnings must go to your needs. 50% will go to your needs. Groceries, housing, utilities, health insurance, car payment, 50%. But 30% will go to your wants. Or you want to buy a new shoe, you want to take your wife out for dining, or you want to travel for a holiday. No more than 30% of your income should go into that. But every month, or anytime you collect money comes to you, at least minimum 20% of your income must be invested. 20% of your income must be invested. So what does that mean? If this month you made 1 million naira, you have failed yourself if you are not able to invest at least 200,000 naira of that 1 million naira. In fact, you should pay yourself first. As soon as you collect your salary, the first person you should pay first is you. As soon as that big deal, you close that deal and make profit or make your margins, the first person you should pay is you. After paying your tithe and other thing, you should pay yourself 20% of your income. So if it's 2 million, you must be able to pay yourself 400,000. You must be able to invest 400,000 naira for you to be able to achieve financial freedom quite early. And he says, don't ever borrow to fund your wants. You want to go on vacation, then you go and borrow money so that you'll be able to go to Bahamas, you'll be able to go to Seychelles, or you'll be able to go to Mauritius for holidays. Don't do that. It's a sin. It's a sin in the laws of financial freedom. If you must achieve financial freedom, never borrow to fund your, no matter how beautiful that shoe is. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it. So frugality is very key in this. In fact, I was discussing with one of my clients, and he told me, because I asked him when, during this dollar period, he has a huge chunk of dollars, thousands of dollars. And I asked him how he was able to get this money. And he told me that some years ago, when dollar was 118, 120, like that every year he used to go for vacation with his wife. So the wife will collect PTA $4,000. He will collect PTA $4,000. But he will tell the wife, you see, this $4,000, this your own $4,000 PTA must be invested. I'm investing this $4,000. Any day we get to America, wherever we are going to for vacation or holidays, once this my own $4,000 is exhausted, we pack our things and come back to Nigeria. And guess what? Over many years like this, before Nigeria started having this dollar issue, he has been able to save a whole lot, plus other dollars he was earning from different sources. Like he knew that there was going to be a dollar crisis. Today, he's reaping the benefit. So also avoid emotions. Don't use emotions to manage your money. Emotion is a money killer. Oh, that child is crying that he needs us to buy him a car and you cannot afford it. You now go to First Bank to go and borrow money to buy that car. Don't do that. If you must achieve financial freedom. Emotion, that and impulses that the enemies of budget. You just got to Ikoyi and saw one beautiful shop. They said they're selling one agbada for 150,000 naira. Oh, this agbada is fine. The material is beautiful. You never planned it. You say, just give it to me. I'll borrow money and pay it. I'll pay it small. That's the fastest way to ruin your finances. Next slide, please. We are trying to rush up now so that we can, entertain questions. Now, this is very important. There's what we call money psychology. And that is the reason why a lot of people are running around cycles and having problems in terms with their finances. You must have the right money mindset before you can live a financially free life. Some people believe that they can never be rich in life. It's a wrong mindset. My happiness, I'm talking to Christians. And the Bible said that God has blessed us with all blessings in heavenly places in Christ Jesus. He has blessed us with all spiritual blessings. He said, the Bible said the earth is full of God's goodness. It's full of God's goodness. So God did not create us to be poor. We are expected, to live that beautiful life that God has called us to live. He has given us all grace, to enjoy. So take out that mentality. Some people believe that they can never be rich. Maybe because they've faced a lot of failures in their life. Then they now say, maybe it's not God's wish that I will be rich. It's the lie. That's the lie from the pit of hell. It's one of the money psychology. It's a money psychology you must deal with. Some people think that money runs in families. Money runs in blood. If you're not from Dangote or Tedala's family, it will be very difficult before you can be rich. That's the lie from the pit of hell. You must convince yourself that you too can be rich. You too can be prosperous. You too can live a good life, a successful life. And you must put in the right actions. You can't be saying, oh, I know I can be rich, but you cannot control your appetite. You can't practice delayed gratification. That will be bad. Also, know that with diligence and knowledge, like I'm sharing knowledge today, you can build money. You can build wealth. You can make money. You can build wealth and live a very successful and financially free life. Also, some people think that money is a mystery. They feel that money have luck. Anyhow it be. If it can happen that you'll be rich, or it can happen that you will not be rich. No. If you approach wealth creation from that mindset, you will never succeed. Some people are afraid of money. They think that money is evil. Money is evil. That's the wrong money psychology. You must avoid that. Next slide, please. So I'm trying to rush on. So these are quick fixes. I brought these quick fixes for mostly the business people around us here, the businessmen around us here, so that we can, be able to reimagine our personal finance again. One is credit. One of the things that have actually damaged the personal finances of many businessmen is credit. A lot of people don't know how to use credit. When credit should be a leverage. That's why they call it leverage. Something that gives you an advantage in business, that gives you an advantage to get something that you wouldn't know, that you wouldn't normally be able to get, and use it to create value for yourself in the long run. And if, for instance, if for any reason something happens that you're having problems with your credit, go back to your creditor and ask for credit restructuring. So number one is that every businessman must understand the use of credit to maximize value. Don't borrow money. Don't go to the bank to borrow money if what you want to use that money to do in your business, you've not gotten clarity about it, because you will blow that money and use it to do things that are wrong. The next one is for business people. The next one is cost. Some of the businesses, what is killing that business is cost. Look at the number of persons working in your organization today. Do you really need them? The cars in your office, do you need them? If they're not needed, sell them off. If the people there are not the people you need in terms of value, can you get the right people? How is cost affecting your business? How is cost affecting your business? And how do you think you can manage cost so that your business can grow faster, in fact, in an astronomical way? Because the cost of goods and services are going up. How are you going to reduce your own cost so that you can still be in business? The next one is what we call systematic investment plan, SIP. Some people think that they need 1 billion. Until they have 1 billion, they can never invest. That's the lie from the pit of hell. Systematic investment plan says that you should invest small amount of money consistently over a period of time or over a duration, consistently and consciously. So if you are making 10,000 naira, for instance, or let's say if you're making 1 million naira every month, you are making 1 million naira every month, and you are investing 200,000 naira every month, you are better off than that man who is waiting till he makes 5 million or 10 million naira before he can invest. And that's why we have things like mutual fund. For instance, DLM, where I work, we have a mutual fund. We call DLM fixed income fund. It's doing about 15% as we speak. Imagine that every month or every week, every day or every quarter, you are investing so amount of money. You will look back and you'll be shocked that you have that kind of money. I learned that lesson the hard way. Some years ago when I started, investing small. And one day I called them. That time there was this online that you can see your what you are doing wasn't so much common. And I called my account officer in one of the mutual funds where I was investing. I said, how much do I have there? By the time she told me what I have in that mutual fund, I couldn't believe it. So don't wait till you have all the money before you start investing. Start investing not today. Start investing now. Right now is the best time to start investing. If you're making money in your business, invest part of that money. Diversify. If your business is, you are selling cars, you're a car dealer, it is wrong for you to just depend on that car dealership. Diversify, because a policy can kill that business. Put your money in a car wash, own a car wash. Diversify again. You can own a place where they bake bread, a bread factory or a bakery or whatever they call it. And how are you going to be able to set up or diversify your business interest? It's through the money you have saved from the one you are doing now. So let's say, for instance, you have a car stand where you sell cars. You can say, okay, in the next 1 year, I'm going to have a place where they make ice cream. I will be saving money from this business. I'll be investing money, the part of my profit from this. In the next 1 year, I should have a place where they make ice cream. Can you see that in 2 years' time, you have 2 businesses? After how many, from there, you start again, you set up a place where they make maybe piggery, where they raise pigs or whatever, or agro. With that, you are fully diversified as a businessman. So there's no way all the businesses can fail at the same time. You know, the Bible said, if you cast, how did the Bible say that? You should spread your seed or something like that. So you must learn how to diversify. Diversification is key for you as a businessman, mostly in a volatile economy like Nigeria. You can't just say, you know, after all, I'm a pharmacist. I have 10 pharmaceutical stores in Ikeja. Is enough for me? No, you must find a way of diversifying your business interest. The next one is what we call DRIP, dividend reinvestment plan. I don't know why it was made a small letter, but the SIP is supposed to be up in capital letter. The DRIP is supposed to be in capital letters all through. DRIP is dividend reinvestment plan. So what does that mean? If I invest in a business and I make money out of it, that dividend I'm making in that business, I should be able to reinvest, if not all, part of it. And by the time I keep reinvesting, it makes more money again, I reinvest it, it makes more money again. That is what they call the compounding effect. If you give yourself the next 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years, just reinvesting your dividend or or can I call it your income or your profit, keep reinvesting them, you would have been able to multiply money in a way that you yourself will be surprised. That is how sustainable wealth is built. That's how people have been able to build wealth, and they say, this money is in their family, it's been in their family for more than 100 years. Not just eating everything you have made, but keep reinvesting your dividend with very great velocity, with very high speed. With that, you can beat inflation. That's how to beat inflation and keep staying afloat in business. Then the last one, the last but not the least, is liquidity. Every businessman needs a level of liquidity. That's why we say in the investment world that cash is king. Because when you have cash, you can take care of opportunities. You can handle opportunities. Cheap properties will come out, you will buy it. That's why when people tell me that they are putting all their monies in real estate, I say they don't have business sense. Real estate is not a liquid asset. You must design your portfolio. And that's one of the things we do at DLM. We help you design your portfolio in such a way that you don't have illiquid asset all through. That tomorrow, maybe, God forbid, you need to go to hospital and they need 5 million naira. You have properties everywhere, but nobody can afford, you can't afford 5 million naira because all your assets, none is liquid. Or you have a great opportunity to buy a house in Ikoyi, there's a distressed sale coming out, but all your monies are tied down in real estate. So in your investment portfolio, you must have some level of liquidity as a businessman. Liquidity is key. If you have that cash, you have an advantage. If you have cash, you're a king. So you must maintain some level of liquidity in your investment portfolio. Next slide, please, as we begin to wrap up. So why do you need financial planning? Why do you need financial planning? Better money management skills. When you plan well, you can manage your money very well. Increase financial stability. Planning makes your financial stability very solid. You can take risk. You can take more risk because you are working with a plan. Better understanding of financial products. You are able to understand financial products. Some of us, maybe for the first time, we are hearing, some of us don't know about bonds. We don't know about mutual funds. We don't know about ETFs. We don't even know that we can invest in gold. So the more you plan, Mostly when you do this planning with a wealth advisor, get somebody, a wealth advisor. I'm a wealth manager. We have a lot of us in DLM here. Let us help you do this plan. Even though you have been doing it alone all this while, sit down, look at your portfolio again. Can we reconstruct your portfolio in a way that you'll be at a good advantage? So these are some of the things we do that financial planning will do for you. Ability to make informed decisions about future financial goals, improve credit score. You are able to pay down your debt within a short space of time. Preparation for unexpected financial events. You are able to handle your emergency issues. You're able to handle emergency issues. Some people, once they get a call from the village of 5,000 naira, everybody in their office will hear, please borrow me 5,000, please borrow me 3,000, please. It's because they don't have a plan. In fact, I tell people, if after paying you salary, 1 week after paying you salary, or 2 weeks after paying you salary, you have gone back to borrow, you need a good financial plan. That's the solution. You need a financial plan. You need to talk to a wealth doctor. You need to talk to a wealth physician. You need to talk to a financial advisor. Next slide, please. So what are you going to do? Life complexity are unpredictable. So you need a plan. You need a plan. Because in the process of planning, you will see where the problem is. In fact, I've done financial planning for people, and when we finish, they say, I know where the problem is. I think my job can no longer handle my expenses. And they start upskilling. They start looking for new skills, change their jobs, and stabilize their finances. Because once you have a plan, you will see where the problem is. You will see where the dead bodies are buried. You will see where that challenge is, and you go there and take it out and kill it, and you maintain a stable financial life. So a lack of financial knowledge, like I said here, is the major reason for bad financial decision making. So you need a good financial plan. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So these are our contacts. You can reach us. DLM Asset Management is one of the top asset managers in Nigeria. We help individuals, institutions, organizations like yours. We help them grow their wealth. We help them, create wealth, grow it, and also transfer it to the next generation. So you need, in all these things I've been saying, you need a partner. You can't go this mile alone. You can't do it alone. You need a partner. You need somebody to go with you. Our contact is here. I don't know why the slide is blurry, but our contact is here. You can call each and any one of us on this slide. And our contact is written here. We are here to help you. To help you with even that business that you think is ailing. I think this business is too difficult. I need to go to another business. If you sit down with a good planner, you might be very shocked that business, you can revitalize it and it will move you to the next level. So I don't know if we have any questions. I'm here to answer all your questions. Then before we call it a day. But I think we have learned something today. I don't know, but I would like to hear from the participants.
Well, somebody is saying, what is SIP again? Don't worry. At the end of this meeting, so I can quickly take that. At the end of this meeting, you can get the recording in a few days on our website, the screen, fgbmicbdkeja.com. You find the recording. Or you can go to our YouTube channel that you have on the screen. And if you just go to YouTube, Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship 5047 is on the screen. You can take a screenshot. You will get all the recordings of previous meetings we've had. And I will encourage you to please subscribe so that you get, as we premiere sessions, you get an alert. So I think that quickly answers that question so that we don't take. So when you listen to the recording, you will see the meanings or the words that were described. Somebody says systematic investment plan. Okay, thank you so much. Somebody's asking what mutual funds are and how does it work? So that's the first question. And then I have a question here that says, what is the current rate of return on your mutual funds or other portfolio investments you have? And that's specifically for your firm, sir. Does your company run any ETF investments? You may want to talk about that as well.
So I didn't get that. Whether my company does what?
Do you run any ETF investment?
Okay.
ETF. Okay. This is from Adeni. Okay, ETF investment. And then, I mean, just comments. People are saying, thank you, amazing lecture. I mean, I learned a lot. Somebody says, yeah, Professor Benjamin, he says, attaining financial wellness and stability sounds like a complex task to a financial layman. No wonder the service of financial experts is oftentimes required. So with the advent of general and specific technology like AI, is there a way financial wellness and stability can be democratized to all without having to engage the service of an expert financial expert, service of an expensive financial expert? Okay, I mean, it's a question I'll leave it to the speaker to address. Then somebody says, does DLM help to invest in companies in the USA and the UK? Do you help with investing outside the shores of Nigeria? Okay, those are the few questions we have for now. Ladies and gentlemen, we won't take a lot of questions because of our time, but maximum I'll take 2 more after, depending on how quickly the speaker speaks to you. Thank you, sir. Over to you, Mr. George.
Okay, thank you very much. I think one of those questions have been answered as SIP, systematic investment plan, a situation where you invest small, consistently over a period of time, and you find value as against waiting till you get all the big monies you need in the world before you start investing. Second one is returns. Somebody asked about fixed income fund and mutual fund, what is doing today. I think that mutual fund as of today is at about 15%. It's a good one, one of the most competitive in the market. So you can take advantage of that. I think they will share our contacts. You can reach out to us, then we'll take you more on that. So someone also asked about ETFs. I noted that. Yeah, for now, we don't have any ETF listed. But if you want to buy ETFs, we can help you buy ETFs from the floor of Nigerian Stock Exchange, because we have a stockbroking firm. We can help you buy any of the ETFs that we feel that is doing very well right now. So if you're interested, you can reach out to us. We can help you invest or help you invest in ETFs. That's exchange traded funds. ETF is exchange traded funds, you know. Somebody asked about democratization of investment. Yes, you're very correct. There are things, there's technology or platforms that have what we call robo-advisors. So they work with AI, they advise you, they're machines. Yeah, some people have said they've been great. Some said some have had very bad experience with them, some have very good experience with them. But while you are also looking at robo-investors, robo-advisors, I tell people also speak with an investment advisor. There are so many of them in Nigeria right now. Like I said, at DLM, we have a lot of well-trained professionals. That's their job. That's what they wake up every morning to do. So you can talk to any of us. We can help you redesign your portfolio and all that. And someone was talking about investment abroad. It depends on what you want to invest in. We can advise you. We've seen people who want to invest in different asset classes. Some people want to buy into businesses. We also have people from overseas who want to invest into Nigeria. We help them, we advise you, we help you do some due diligence when necessary, or even deep due diligence. We can help you do any of those, depending on what you want. Which other question have I not touched? Mutual fund, yes. So what is mutual fund? Mutual fund, as the name sounds, mutual, it gives you an opportunity to buy into an asset that ordinarily you wouldn't be able to buy into. For instance, if Treasury bill, you need a minimum, or Eurobond, you need a minimum of $100,000 or $200,000 to invest in Eurobond. All you need to do is to come together with your friends. And that's what we do. We aggregate people who have mutual interest that want to invest in that, but don't have the big size of money to buy the asset. So what we do is that we get them together, you know, pull their monies together and help them achieve that aim without them breaking the bank. So for instance, we have money market mutual fund that invest in treasury bills, fixed income fund. We have fixed income fund in my company. The underlying asset is usually fixed income instrument, bonds, partly treasury bills and all that, fixed income commercial papers. These are things that we help you invest. And the beautiful thing is that For instance, ours, with as little as 10,000 naira, you can start that investment now, right away. With as little as 10,000 naira, instead of you giving your money to a job people, and once it's December, when it's time for them to give you your money, they jackpot with your money. Why not invest this money in mutual funds and decent returns? Some people even do a job, they don't give them any interest. Mutual fund, you can invest even hourly, daily, weekly, monthly. That's the beautiful thing about mutual fund. And another good thing about it is that you can log into your account in any part of the world where you find yourself and see what your investment is doing per time. So, and it's a way for you to build that financial discipline. I tell people, any money I am not leaving, any money I'm not using in a week's time, 2 weeks' time, I move it to my mutual fund. Why am I leaving it in the bank where they'll be charging me account maintenance, card maintenance, SMS alert fees, where I can put, and they're not giving you more than 4% or even 3%. Why, instead of leaving your money in savings account with the banks and you are not getting anything, 3%, 4%, when inflation rate is about 22%, move your money to mutual fund. I have up to 4 mutual fund accounts, different companies. That's one of the things that help me to maintain financial discipline. You too can do that. You can start with 1, later open 2 for different reasons. I want to buy a car in December. I have a mutual fund I'm using to put that money, to invest that money towards achieving that goal. I want to buy a land by January. I have a mutual fund I'm using to achieve that. Before you know what is happening, this is how people create wealth. That careless 10,000 naira entering in your hand that you think is nothing, you blow it over the weekend. If it enters into your mutual fund account, think of how much you consistently for 1 year or 6 months or 3 months, think of what that money can do for you or what you can accumulate and achieve big things. So if you want to know more about mutual fund, talk to us now, call us. We are here for you. And I believe that is one of the best things that can happen to you this year. Thank you very much.
Professional with over 15 years of experience in banking operations, commercial banking, retail banking, and he's been in several spaces. George has a master's degree in sustainability from the University of Saskatchewan in Canada. He holds a postgraduate diploma in agricultural economics from the Federal University of Agriculture, Makurdi. George received his bachelor's degree from the Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, where he graduated as one of the best students in the applied microbiology department.